We're live. We're live.
Yeah, we are.
So here's the thing. Every single week, no matter who we're talking to, no matter what we're talking about, one of our viewers, one of our subscribers asks, how do we save our money? How do we save 2 years living expenses, right?
Yeah, how do you say that FU money, which is very important. If you don't know what FU is, it is just what you think it might be. FU, I'm out, deuces. So,
Right? Or how we went from negative 22,000 to over 800,000 in net worth, right?
yes.
It's one of those questions. So I guess we should introduce ourselves. Hey, y'all. My name's Halisi.
And my name is Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia.
On our channel, we talk about money, travel, and retiring abroad as we build generational wealth. And for those of you who don't know, it was 6 years ago, right? About 6 years ago, now 6.5 years ago, we were getting close to retirement age and our stuff looked crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 years ago, we finally started changing the way we do things. And that's what we're going to talk about today. The 6 things that we did, the 7 habits that we developed, the 6 things that we changed to save that money, to, that changed the way we do things, that brought us from negative 22,000 over 800,000
Right.
in net worth.
Right.
Right.
So, and for those that are kind of barely making ends meet, you can get there. It might take you a little bit longer, but a couple things you need to do. Again, find a better job, a better paying job, and a good side hustle. There's a lot of side hustles out there, a lot of ways to make money. Did you know if you own your own home, you can rent your garage out for people to store stuff in to make money?
Yeah, there's lots of ways to make
There's
money.
a lot of ways. I mean, that's just one crazy example, but there's a lot of ways to make money. So you can get there.
As a matter of fact, get our Ready to Retire toolkit. And in there, we send you emails. There's also 4 videos that we recommend for side hustles. If you're a Black woman, Exodus Summit is coming up, and that's all about the money, baby.
Yeah.
But let's get into the 6 things that we did. First, let's say hello to some of the folks who are already watching. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
We see you in the comments. I don't know if Philip is still watching because he logged in at 9:49 a.m. our time. And it's 1:30 our time right now.
1:30.
So if you're still watching or if you're going to watch the replay, Philip, hey.
Hi, Valerina.
Hey, Valerina from Central Texas. And Auntie Trey. Hey, fam, checking in from the ATL. Oh, that's me. Chandra, hey there from Maryland. Greta from
Were you getting ready
New
to
York?
shout out to yourself?
No.
Okay. I was just checking.
No. Hey, Summertime from Charlotte, North Carolina, and Professor up there
how
in the
you
Northeast.
doing?
Good afternoon. Well, it's still, I guess it is afternoon, isn't it? Y'all, we have been on the house sit from hell.
It's not the house, it is the dog.
Well,
it's
house
Cujo.
Lord.
Is anybody watching? I had to punch the dog.
No, he didn't punch the dog.
Well, I didn't punch him.
But yeah, you didn't punch the dog. But I'm telling you, this dog, has no training. Has absolutely no training. That's a different video for a different day. But, hey, Barbara from Connecticut. Punch the dog. Tunisia, hey, how you doing? And Anita, I just saw you. Weren't we just chatting yesterday? I think we were just chatting yesterday. How you doing? And Action VJ, I know we've been chatting. Hello there. How you doing?
Andrea, how you doing?
Andrea, hey everyone. You're back from Lisbon. You're going to have to let us know how that went.
Definitely. We got to know. You got to share that with us.
Yes. But first, let's get to our first one. And of course, my screen just went blank.
Well, wait a minute, because, we'd like you to subscribe.
Oh, that's right.
Hit the like, hit the bell, give us a thumbs up.
All that good stuff that I always forget to say.
And, there's super chats. The money that we get from super chats goes to our scholarship for
For anyone who cannot afford to take any of our workshops or anything like that, we want to make sure that our things are accessible. Community supports community. So there you go. All the super chat money, all the super thanks money go to our scholarship fund.
And buy me a coffee money too, doesn't it?
Yes. And buy me a coffee money as well. All right.
I'll drink the coffee though.
He'll drink the coffee. Yeah, we meant to talk to Krishan about the coffee in Europe last week. So we'll have to have her on again, all about the cafe culture and coffee. But the first thing that we did, and we started doing this before we figured out that people had coined phrases or had a way to describe this. But I'm going to say it how Aman from Our Rich Journey said it. Every dollar earned should have a purpose.
Yes.
Every dollar earned should have a purpose. We started thinking that way about 3 years ago, but I don't think we articulated it.
No, we didn't. I mean, because you can look at it too, like every dollar earned should have a purpose. Well, you can have good purpose and not so good purpose. So, you could be walking down the street and pass by the shoes in the window and say, I like them Nikes, or I like them boots.
Or them Gators.
And that could be your purpose. That's fine. You can save towards that goal of getting those after you pay yourself and put that money aside and invest it. Then save and get those Gators or boots or Nikes.
As opposed to putting it on a credit card, unless you intend to pay that credit card off at the end of the month, right?
Definitely.
So when we say every dollar earned should have a purpose, that includes your income, right? So some purpose is going to be housing, obviously. Some purpose is going to be transportation. Some purpose is going to be healthcare. And some purpose is going to be food. Those are the basics, right? Maslow's hierarchy of need. Those are the basics that you're going to have allocated. And there should be an allocation.
Yes.
Then there is other money. When we say pay yourself first, we mean just that. When we were working for somebody else, and even still to this day, we have automatic payments coming out of our savings account going into our investment accounts, even though we don't have W-2 money coming in anymore. So every dollar earned should have a purpose. Back to that. Our investment accounts. Yes. So every one of our investments and our investment accounts have a purpose. So our after-tax money, we decided that money is going to be to pay off United States real estate. The money in our pre-tax accounts, we decided is going towards generational wealth. Right. And then even within our investment accounts, certain investments are going towards certain other things. So individual stock investments are going towards saving towards the Portuguese real estate, right? So we've got certain money that, because we want to pay cash in Portugal for our property. And so there you go.
Yeah.
We have certain money going towards that. And then even with our savings account, thank you, Adelio Borchade, for hooking us up and telling us about Ally, right?
Yeah.
Because we got buckets.
Ally has the buckets that you can create.
Right. Yes. And it's so simple. It's kind of like how accountants think with the different categories, because it's all one big pool of money. Let's just be honest, right? Mm-hmm. But in our savings account, this is ready cash that we want to have quickly available because something happens with the house. Y'all know we had an electrical fire last week. So we have to have money to get that fixed, the mitigation. Well, actually, our insurance company works pretty fast, so we didn't actually have to have cash. But we might have had to have money, cash money for that. So that's where we started our Hell No Fund, our Hell Yeah Fund, right? And different other categories. Taxes, those are set aside in there.
Yeah, they'll sneak up on you.
Right. Every single dollar. Yeah. Every single dollar has been allocated. Now, where's the fun in that? You can allocate money towards fun. That's fine. Like, life is for living. This is not a dress rehearsal.
Right. No, you
right?
get one shot.
And so we do have money allocated towards fun, towards whatever we decide that is. If it's splurging on, some, Blue Star meal or whatever, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, you don't have to do it all the time. Reward yourself. Have fun. We're not trying to say that you have to put every little single, penny away, and you can't have any fun. You can't do anything. It's about living. It's about life, but it's about
Being
taking care of your
purposeful.
priority, being purposeful, knowing your why you want to do the things, why you want the things that you're buying. Because a lot of times, and I learned myself, is I see something, I wanted it, and I keep telling myself, I gotta have it. And then it's like a little kid at Christmas. I want this, I want that, I want this. And when you get it, you open the gift, you play with it for the first hour, then you put it to the side and forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
And we do the same thing as grown-ups.
Yep.
Same thing.
Yep. Yep. You guys see the shelf is emptying behind us.
And
all that money.
There's 1,000 bags sitting.
All that money.
Not quite 1,000, but there's a lot of bags. We've been doing a whole lot of work.
All that money given away.
Yeah.
So we have investments allocated towards generational wealth, investments allocated towards real estate payoffs, cash and semi-cash savings set aside for specific goals. Hell yeah money. That can mean whatever you want it to mean. But for us, it means being able to take advantage of opportunities when they arise, whether that's opportunities to have fun.
Yes.
Like our friend said, oh, when you get back to Lisbon, there's something happening in Venice, Italy. We should all go. It's right before Christmas. It's like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Because we've got
money.
We've got money set aside. We don't have to go into debt. We're not putting it on a credit card or anything like that. Additionally, if it would have been something along the lines of, we're looking for investors to buy this building in Lisbon, and your cut is this amount if you want to buy a piece of this, yeah, hell yeah, if everything works out, right? Hell yeah, we into that. So yes. That's what our hell yeah money is, and that's how we have it allocated. So every single dollar should have a purpose. And when we started thinking about it like that, the way we spent money started to change. The way we started thinking about money started to change. That just, well, if you want to get it, that started to change. Because why do you want it? Why do you want it? And do you want that more than you want to retire ASAP?
Yes. What's more important?
That's the question. So let's see what's happening in the chat here. We've got KB from the DMV. Y'all saying hello to each other. Philip Wallace is still on. Oh my gosh. Bless your heart. Cool. Bless your heart. The Sage film is coming in from Seattle, Washington. Professor, yeah, you might not have known about the fire because you were not on the whole time last week. Felice Goddess Micah. Hey there, Nubia Net. I'm here for it. I'm in Oakland. I'm getting worn out working overtime. It's time for me to find a job. Here, I'm going to put it up. It's time for me to find a job that pays more and move to Sacramento, which is where the higher paying jobs are. Really?
Yeah.
Higher paying than the Bay Area. Interesting. Definitely less expensive to live there. And of course, that's the state capital. So I didn't know that. Interesting. Be picky. Be picky because you can, right? And there's no point in making a move like that and not finding exactly what you need to meet all of your needs, right? Both your lifestyle needs and your financial needs. Not Auntie Trey, this dog. We have been recording it.
Yeah, he's a beautiful dog.
He's pretty.
But he's not trained.
He's not trained.
And I don't think he's
all.
fixed.
No, he's not fixed.
Yeah.
So. Cher Glenn, hello. Jackie Johnson, good to see you again. Kimberly Ivory. Wait, is that our Kim?
That's my Kimmy.
Hey.
Kimmers. Hey, Kim.
That's my niece.
That's Kimmers.
Okay. Yes, I'm on the channels. I'm on the right channels, Anita. I am on all of the channels you're on, girl. Yep, that's right. I know we are. Okay. And Sage Films, thank you.
Thank
Our
you for
first
super
super chat, $25 again goes towards our scholarship fund. Y'all know we have Beyond the Bling, and we also have a challenge coming up right before the holidays because we got to get this money straight. Everybody's talking about money. This is the time we got to get this money straight. Y'all have been asking. And so we want to know, have you heard the terminology, every dollar should have a purchase or every investment should have a purpose?
Not a purchase. You said purchase.
Did I say? I didn't say purchase.
You did. See,
I said purpose.
Freudian slip. Every dollar should have a purchase.
No, I didn't say that.
She said it. Roll the tape back.
So, have you guys heard that before? Have y'all heard that before? And then also, if not, have you been thinking about it that way? Because we started thinking about it that way before we heard it said so succinctly.
Right.
I didn't say that.
You purchased stuff.
Oh gosh. Let's see. Saw a show on Netflix yesterday called Get Smart with Money, where several financial experts, Paula Pant, yay.
Yeah. Pant.
Tiffany Alish, etc., gave some good advice. Definitely love the bucket idea. Yeah. And then Paula Pant is the one who kind of coined the phrase, you can afford anything, but just not everything. Yeah. So going back to the first one, which is every dollar should have a purpose, which means, you can't afford everything. Not everything. So there's always going to be choices. Right. Most people have a finite amount of money. Even if you're a millionaire or a billionaire, there's still a finite amount of money. So you can always make more if you feel like working for it or doing whatever you need to do to get it. And we're going to be real. We're definitely going to be real. Okay, so Greta says, I just put all of my credit cards in my lockbox, focusing on paying them off, only using cash debit cards.
Send me the key to the lockbox, Greta. Okay, I'm going to keep you honest. Send me the key. I'll hold it for you.
So you guys know we use credit cards for everything, but that's because we're racking up points. However, you do what you need to do to keep them debt free. So if that means paying them off every week, like you use them and you pay them off every week, do that. Every payday you pay them off, do that. If it's just every month, we have ours set so that it automatically takes the balance out of our bank account.
Yeah.
So I better know. We know every month exactly how much we're spending. So the next thing is
keeping up with the Joneses.
Mindset.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You remember the Temptations had that song "Keeping Up with the Joneses," and
how'd it go?
Keeping up with the Joneses is gonna make your life a mess.
Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Sing some more, sweetie. Sing some more. My husband has a lovely voice.
Back in the day.
So we stopped trying to keep up with the Joneses who controlled the game.
Yeah.
Right? I literally wrote a letter to the Joneses breaking up with them, saying that I'm not trying to keep up with you anymore. I remember us going to the mall and looking at those Teslas.
Oh, yeah. We were, his and hers Teslas. We were in Atlanta.
I thought we were here.
No, we were in Atlanta. Remember, we went to the mall in Atlanta and we were like, that's the first time we saw the Tesla store in a mall. And it was like, and the one you sat in was red.
I remember that.
It was red Tesla.
I looked good in it too, y'all. I looked good in that Tesla. She looked
damn good in the Tesla, but.
Yeah. But had we gotten those Teslas, we would not be 2 weeks away from moving to Lisbon, retired, and all of that stuff. You can afford anything, just not everything, right? That's what Paula Pant says. So the one thing that as we were discussing this, I put down Matrix Blue Pill. Wake up to the fact that society teaches us to keep reaching for the next promotion and to basically spend most of what you earn on stuff. And so you end up working until you're 67 years old, and then you probably still have not saved enough.
67 to 70 plus, they want you to keep working.
So yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, the Social Security is designed. You get more money the older you get. So, they
They
want you to max out, but they want to wait till you get to 70 so they don't have a big payoff. And, we have a good friend, very good friend, and he's working. And we've been saying, dude, let it go. You're good. You don't have to do all this. You don't have to do all this. And he doesn't. Single
no,
man,
no, no,
owns
no.
property. It's like you don't have to do this anymore. Because
Exactly.
he asks himself the question, is this all there is?
Is this all there
Is
is
this
to it?
it? Is this all there is? It's like, no. Dude, hey, do what you got to do. Live your best life.
Yeah.
Go to where you need to go to live your best life.
It is never too early to start being a lot more purposeful about the choices that you make. Don't let life just happen to you, because that's what I feel like. Life just kind of happened to me and then to us, right? I remember in the Matrix movie when Keanu Reeves sees what they're doing with human beings. Basically, the aliens are using us as batteries,
Right.
as energy. The government uses us and basically decides what the GDP is going to be in the future based upon how many Social Security numbers they gave out for the folks being born, and then how much education, because that means how much money they're going to get and how much they're going to be able to tax us, right? So what is the difference?
There is none.
What is the difference? We have been in the matrix, and financial independence or the FIRE movement is the blue pill. It is the blue pill because I'm just going to be honest, sweetheart. I have always told myself I'm not materialistic.
I think a lot of us try to tell ourselves that.
And maybe I'm not as materialistic as some folks are, but I am materialistic. I'm like stealth materialistic.
It's hard not to be.
It's
hard not to be.
It's hard not to be when you have not decided the purpose for every dollar that you bring in. It's hard not to be materialistic. So my idea was, okay, I'm gonna tell my business folks. My idea was, yeah, I'm gonna get a Coach bag. But I'm not going to have all them little C's all over, because I'm not going to promote that I got a Coach bag. If you look at it closely and see the logo, then you'll know I have a Coach bag. But otherwise, you're not going to know.
Look at the little tiny bitty.
It's the same thought process of keeping up with the Joneses, and I was kidding myself. I
mean, personally, because I like tennis shoes. I love my tennis shoes. I mean,
20, 25, 30, 35, 40 pair.
I love tennis shoes. I haven't bought any tennis shoes lately. I haven't done any of that. I've been wearing what I have because what we're trying to do, and save, not spending the money. I won't get a pair of Nikes, but I'll dang sure look for some nice Nikes on sale. Can't have the Nikes with the swoosh, this upside down. Give me the Nikes. I love Nike, but I will bargain shop if I have to shop. And then, of course, I always ask her, what do you think? Should I get these?
And I'm going to say, do you need them? So that's another trick that we play with ourselves. Yeah. Get it on clearance and this and that and the other. Okay. I saved so much money. No, you just spent money.
You just spent money.
You just spent money. So I think the FIRE movement definitely kind of is the blue pill, the matrix, the blue pill, because it wakes you up to the fact that buying a bunch of things to create, okay, I'm speaking for myself here. I'm just looking around at the stuff, and I remember purchasing these things and thinking about the reaction of other people who saw me with these things and what they would think about me because I had these things in my house, on my person, what I'm driving, whatever. Some of those people I don't even like. Some of them I do, of course, especially if they're coming into my home, but really? So how much money did I waste trying to impress other people who are not coming to my home to see if they approve of my decor, but are coming to my home to visit with us, to visit with me or with us? All right, let's see what y'all saying in the chat here. Do you want to add on to that, sweetheart, while I'm looking at this?
Well, it's I don't care what people think. I mean, as long as I'm clean and I ain't
Since
stinky.
when?
I haven't for a long time.
Since when?
For a long, long time. I mean, I used to never have to buy my suits because the company bought I had a clothing allowance. So, but I mean, I like to dress. Don't get me wrong. I do like to dress, and I like to, brother got to
So
match.
this is the person who's got 40 pairs of sneakers because each one has to match each
Well,
jogging outfit, but he don't care what people think.
I don't. I do it because it's pleasurable to me.
Okay, all right. Let me
Yeah,
shut
I
up
don't
then.
buy it for them.
Okay. Hey, Tammy, I'm glad you caught alive. I'm glad you caught alive. We have 8. Uh-oh. Okay, Autobot Diva. We have 18 months of living expenses.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. That is fantastic. I love it. Okay. Isan 1.
It is. It's worth getting into a fire
S and 1
group.
Ben. Okay. I plan to retire soon. Do you think it's worth to get into a fire group? Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Because the other thing, we're in a fire accountability group, and you've got people from all different levels.
Yes.
So that's one thing. Unless you think you know every single thing there is to know, even the beginners, just by them asking questions can teach you something, because it's like, yeah, I never even thought of that.
You learn so much from like-minded people trying to achieve the same things that you're trying. I mean, when we went to Portugal and did the thing with Amon and Christine, and everyone there just like-minded, thinking, bouncing ideas off of each other, showing, with the different groups and stuff. I mean, even with you guys, the comments, hey, I'm doing this. Do you think this is worthwhile doing, and stuff like that? If you're trying to get in that mind frame, or to change your frame of mind of how you think about spending money and investing and savings, get with people that are like-minded. Don't get with people that say, you'll never be able to do that. You don't want negativity. You want positive people that are thinking and doing and driving towards that same goal as you. And there's a lot out there. There's a lot out there that just don't know how to do it. And you just might be the person that sparks that fire in them to make them do it. So yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Community educate yourself.
Everything. Educate yourself. That's another important thing that really, really needs to be pushed. Is a little bit of your budget should be towards education. And I don't mean necessarily going to school or anything like that, but buying educational materials, subscribing to somebody's channel that's talking about giving information and stuff like that. We do things with Christine and Armand, and we learn a lot, and we pay them and we learn a lot. And, not only them, but we talk to other people too,
and pay them too,
and pay them, and people come to us and do the same, because everybody has a way that they do things. Everybody doesn't do everything the same, even though we're trying to get to the same goal, and people learn differently from other people. So it's always worthwhile.
Definitely. Community means all the world. And plus, we believe in shortcuts. I mean, had we heard about the fire movement, so you guys, the folks who have been here for a while, y'all know. But when I say 6 years ago, we say 6 years ago because that's when we had a meeting with a financial planner who really was an insurance agent. And that meeting left us so depressed. Well, especially Rick, more so than me, because I was like, we're going to make more money. So I was always the optimist. We're going to make more money. But see, in those days, yes, make more money, but then I would have spent more money. That's the problem. So we're going to get to that. But yeah, we had that meeting and we were so depressed after that. Had we heard about the fire movement then, Oh, honey, it'd be all over. It would be all over.
Yeah.
Right. So, what was the first thing that we did? The first thing that we did is we decided, this is not in any particular order. We were just brainstorming. So, you guys put this in any order. So, number one, one of the things that we did is we decided that every dollar earned, be it passive income or active income, had a purpose. It was already allocated, even if that allocation was for fun, right? Or for the F of it, whatever. Number two, we stopped keeping up with the Joneses. I had to like purge myself and write an actual letter because I have been telling myself for a long time, I ain't trying to keep up with no Joneses. I don't care what people think. I do what I want to do. I dress how I want to dress. That's all of that was a lie. All of it was a lie.
So you got to stop lying to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You got to.
Definitely. Whether it is, always having to have the latest gadget or whatever, or smaller things, like always having to have your nails done because, I don't care, but that's what's expected.
Well, I'll get this time, and I'll make up for it the next time, and the next time doesn't come.
Yeah. Yep. So. And that's the other thing. Ooh, I used to kid myself with that a lot. Okay, before we go on to the next one, I want to look at these comments because I thought I saw another.
See, you said purchase.
I did say purchase. I said purpose.
Thanks, Action BJ.
I said purpose. I would recommend, okay, the first one I'm going to recommend, and I'm going to have a link. I'm going to have a link for y'all tomorrow. I keep saying that, but if not, go to their website. We're having Rich and Regular on at the end of the month. We will be in Portugal, y'all, when we have them on. So Rich and Regular, they wrote a book. I just finished reading it called Cashing Out. And it is excellent. It is more of a money mindset book, I would say, and less about, well, some of it is do this, do this, do this, do this. Yes, because at the end of each chapter, they have rituals and rules. So rituals are, like habits, things that you should think about incorporating. Rules are things that, this is how we going to do things, that shouldn't be broken. So I suggest that, Cashing Out, and then Choose FI.
Choose FI, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
I found Rich and Regular through Choose FI. So I found the Choose FI book, and our library had the audio version. And then when I was Googling it, I found out there was a Choose FI podcast. So I started listening to them.
Yeah.
They interviewed Rich and Regular.
They're on point. And they interview a lot of people also on their podcast. And I mean, it's amazing, and they're part of this community. So, they have very, very good information. And definitely, of course, if you're not subscribed to Our Rich Journey, subscribe to it.
Yeah, I know Greta is. I know she
is too. I'm just saying for others.
Yeah, definitely. So it's all good. I wondered if I should watch. Okay, so they're having their own conversation. So yeah, put a Q in front of the question if you've got a question.
Hey, Karen.
So do you see Karen?
Karen Louise, right there.
There she is. Hey, y'all. Hey. So good to be part of the live discussion. I only spend on a credit card what I can pay off each month. Yes. Getting into bad debt is just not part of my DNA any longer. Notice she said any longer because, yes, I kid myself, and I've told you guys, I did not know better. I did not know that paying off all of your bills at the end of the month was a thing that everybody should do. Yes, I did. I did know that. I knew that. I have no excuse. And I had to come to, when we were talking about what we were going to talk about here,
right?
I had to come to terms with, I knew that.
Yeah.
But the excuse that I gave myself to not do it was, that's something rich people can do.
Right.
If they paid us more, because when my mom was my age and she made this, she had this much spending power. And for me to make what my mom made when I was a teenager, I'd have to make about $168,000 a year today. That's a lot of money. Most people don't make that. I use that as an excuse to have credit card debt. So yeah, I did know better. I knew better.
Yeah.
What about you?
Hey, it's pretty much the same. You know, it's just you can get it now at ease and not worry about it, but just make the minimum payment.
Yeah, if
As
the
long
payment
as
fits,
we get.
we get.
In making the minimum payment, your credit didn't go bad unless you got over what 30%,
Yeah, yeah,
and then they ding you on that. And then if you
exactly.
canceled your card, they ding you on
They
that.
ding you on that.
So
So
the credit card companies don't really like us.
at this point,
I mean, they like us because we pay our bill, but we are deadbeats
it,
because that loan that they give us, we pay it off within that month.
yeah, every month we pay off
No
the whole thing.
interest. They
Which
don't get money.
no. Which leads us to the next step. So the next thing that we did is we stopped avoiding looking at our money and our expenses. If I ask you, what is your monthly expenses? Or, between this and this, if it ranges within $50 or whatever, you should be able to tell me. If you can't, that's the first thing you need to do. Look to see how much you're spending. And and the good thing is so I didn't know when we came from that meeting, it was like, okay, let's look at this money, let's talk about this money. And I knew, so this is not Ric and I's first marriage, and I knew that money broke up a lot of marriages.
Oh yeah.
So my thing was, money's never going to get in the way of our marriage. We're never going to argue about money.
No.
We're just not going to discuss it. And we're just going to spend. That was my answer for not letting money get in the way of our marriage. Is that not crazy? So we sat down and I downloaded everything like 3 months from our bank account, and I went through the trouble of sorting it out and allocating it. This is groceries, this is restaurants, this is general entertainment, subscriptions, entertainment subscriptions, everything. Before I knew that there was things like Personal Capital and Mint Mobile. And I'm glad I did it by hand, because doing it by hand meant I really had to look line by line at each item of our spending.
Right.
And for those of you who get our information, who are not new to our channel, we always say we were spending $900 to $1,000 per month on restaurant food.
Eating out. Yeah.
Just on restaurant food.
Yeah.
Not including groceries, y'all. Not including groceries, just restaurant food. So our godson just left. But yeah, so one of the things about us going through each item individually, it really made us look at our spending and say, is eating out this important to us to the point where we want to work longer so that we can eat out?
Yeah, no.
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 In our Ready to Retire toolkit, there is a calculator on the real cost of stuff, or you'll get it in one of the emails on the real cost of stuff. That's a calculator that I found that we started using, like how many more years, how many more months do I have to work if I make this purchase?
Right.
And then you got to weigh that if this amount of money were sitting in our investment
Right.
for the next 10 years, how much money am I giving up? Because there's an opportunity cost to everything, right? So we stopped avoiding looking at our spending, and we regularly checked our spending against our goals.
Yes.
Because you guys want to know, how did we save our money? If you know how much you're spending, how much your expenses are, what you're spending money on, lowering your expenses means that's less money that you have to save up.
Right.
Right? So saving 2 years living expenses, if you have to live on $137,000 a year, or if you have to live on $50,000 a year, those are two hugely, vastly different numbers. And if you don't have credit card debt, then that shifts a lot of what you're probably paying every month. Just saying.
Yeah.
right? All right. So put a Q in front of the questions. Let's see what you guys are talking about. While Rick, you've been holding out on us. I don't know what you were. I don't know what you were talking
Because I'm
about.
probably usually the quiet one. So.
He is quiet. He is quiet sometimes. Sometimes, you know, that pension will be a good base. Just need to put icing on top. Congrats on that. Keep it up, right? And for us, I'm gonna say, you guys know that I worked in venture capital, and they are very, very generous with their bonuses, right? They're very generous with their 401k package and everything else. And that is the foundation of our retirement money.
We put our bonuses away.
Yeah.
We are invested.
Yeah.
Invested and saved. And
so Auntie Trace says, yes, it's all about the priorities. Absolutely. Absolutely. You like every dollar has a purpose means what are your priorities? What is your why? And did we talk about that yet, or we haven't? So let's talk about our why and we didn't talk about that when we talked about the purpose, because once we decided that we were moving abroad, y'all, it got really easy to not spend. So your why is so important. And you started talking about this, sweetheart, and then you stopped.
No, your why is very important because, I mean, you know, why are you doing the things that you're doing? You know, one of our whys of moving abroad, besides, you know, wanting to explore something different than being here, we've been here all our lives, is it's less cost for us to live. Medical health insurance is a way lot less. And Portugal is one of the top, I want to say, 8 countries in the world for healthcare. United States, we all know, we've discussed it before on this channel, is out of control.
Out of control.
It's just crazy. And a lot of people, speaking of the friend that we were talking about earlier, I was talking to him the other day, and I said, he was looking at different places. I said, look at Mexico, man. You know, if you want to go to Mexico, I think he's going to come to Portugal. He wants to visit Portugal now. But I said, look at it. You know, look at different things, places you can go. If you're concerned about, you know, how much money you have in the bank or how much investments you got, you know, I got a townhouse, I can sell that. It's like, you don't have to. Why would you sell your townhouse?
No.
Unless it's just a burden. You don't feel like being bothered with it anymore. Run it out. It's income. You keep that. You know, until you get tired of it, then you can either leave it to your kids or whatever, sell it, whatever, if you want more money. But when we talked about his numbers, it was like, dude, why are you still working at 71 years old?
Yeah, it made absolutely no sense. But so his why is because he's got Malays, right? Like life has got to be more than just getting up, going to work, going to church, coming home, getting up, going to work, going to church, coming home.
Yeah.
Right. But for us, you know, once we decided we wanted to move abroad and this is what we wanted our lifestyle to look like, saving 60% of our income and socking that away, because that's what we were doing, 60% of our income, made all the difference in the world.
It made it a whole lot easier once we knew our why.
Yep. And so when I remember when we were in LA and we were coming down the elevator in Nordstrom's, and women, y'all know Nordstrom shoe department. Nordstrom shoe department. Do I need to say anything else? So we're coming down the escalator and I could see the shoes and the bling bling shoes, and they were so pretty and everything. It did not do a thing. I was like, whatever. I'll see what they got in Lisbon, because that's where I'm gonna be. That's where I'm gonna be. You know, so I don't need to spend that money.
You don't have to. You know, we are moving abroad, but you know, everybody doesn't want to move abroad, and that's understandable. But you know, put yourself in a position to where you can live your best life, even here. You can live your best life. It's still going to be more expensive than anywhere else, but you know,
it's all about choices.
It's all about choices.
It's all about choices. And so that's the other thing. So we'll get to the next number. So number 1 was again, not in any particular order. Every dollar earned should have a purpose. Number two, here's my notes down here, guys. I'm sorry. We stopped trying to keep up with the Joneses. That's really important. Number three, we stopped avoiding looking at expenses and our spending, and we regularly check our spending against our goals. Number four, we've always had a side hustle. We've always had multiple streams of income. So we got together. We've been doing video production for 20 years. We used to do wedding movies or wedding films. Excuse me. We've done marketing. We've done commercials.
Yeah.
So we've always had extra income coming in, and we would use that income either to pay off debt or to buy the gadgets and stuff that we wanted, so we wouldn't have to go into debt to get them.
Yeah. And side hustles, when we say side hustles, we're not saying run out there and find a second job. Well, I can get a job at Target. So no. You don't want to run out and do stuff like that, because that's just taking more and more and more of your time, because you have to leave home. But there's online things you can do. You can start a YouTube channel. I'm just saying,
like somebody I know.
Yeah, like somebody I know. There's all kind of different side hustles out there. There's all kind of websites out there that tell you about different side hustles. I guess we should do a video on side hustles.
We'll eventually do a video on side hustles, but again, get our Ready to Retire toolkit.
Yeah, and get out there and make a little bit of money doing something else on a side hustle, and put that money away. Every little bit helps.
Every little bit helps, and everyone, especially and this is the hard thing, because if you are close to our ages, you probably had parents who stayed at a job for a long time.
Yeah.
Those days were, by the time I came around, those days were over. Pensions were over. All of that stuff was over. So the notion of staying on a job for 30 years and all of that stuff, and layoffs were rare back in the day, very rare. I've gotten laid off of every single job that I have. So I say that to say having multiple streams of income is always a good thing, and gives you the freedom and the emotional freedom to have the confidence to walk away from a situation that's not serving you, or when that layoff comes, you're just trying to get as much money as you can. Where's my severance? Where's my this? Where's my that? Because you know what? I'm going to take a month off anyway.
Yeah.
Peace out. Because you've got money set aside, and you've got those other streams of income that will soften that blow.
Take that sabbatical. Take that sabbatical.
Yeah,
Get away. Take a month or two off, and have the money to take care of yourself and survive and do the things that you need to do while you're gone for that 2-3 months. I'm not talking about 2 weeks, y'all.
Yeah, it brings clarity. So during the pandemic, Rick was furloughed for basically the entire pandemic.
Yeah.
Right? And
it's not over.
The pandemic's not over, but the lockdown part of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So before the vaccinations, he was laid off that whole entire time. And then after the vaccinations, he got hired on that summer. So we went to one income for that whole entire time, and yet saved more money than we had in the past, because finally, we could still order online. We could shop online. Just because the brick and mortar was closed didn't mean Amazon didn't exist, right?
They bring it to you.
They would bring it to you. So even on one income. So we did not sweat it when he got laid off, because we were already living way below our means. Number one. Number two, we were able to save more because our why became very crystal clear. And the why is, as soon as we get a chance, we moving to Spain.
Yeah, Spain was the original destination.
We moving to Spain. And so, everything was measured against that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Everything was measured against that. So we've always had that extra stream of money coming in, and we never really stopped that. New Dawn Productions has existed for 20 years, and it probably will exist for another 20 years, whether we're doing strategic planning or video stuff in the
Right.
past, etc. We were always doing consulting, something. So again, get the Ready to Retire toolkit, because in it, you will get a series of emails that will walk you through the stuff that we are talking to you about today, as well as have links to some of the side hustle videos that we recommend. One by Our Rich Journey, I think one by Stephanie Perry, one of ours on the real estate investing,
Right.
and one other one. I can't remember. Anyway, get the toolkit. Let's see what y'all talk about. Let's see what y'all are talking
Mikey's.
about. You like Mikey's? And getting back. So Professor LC is just stealthy. We're cousins. She just reminded me of something. Keeping Up with the Joneses. I thought that I was doing so in Cashing Out. They say something, Julian and Kirsten, about stealth wealth. And I think that's where we are at now. True stealth wealth. You don't need to wear your wealth. You don't need to necessarily show your wealth with a bunch of things. You show your wealth in your confidence and how you live your life, which is purposeful. If you like shiny things, that's fine. That's your thing. We like to travel. Shiny things and travel, as much as we like to travel, are not both in the budget. Travel takes priority.
It's funny because wealthy, very ultra wealthy people talking about what's Microsoft dude's name? Bill Gates.
Yeah.
What's the older dude? Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah.
I can't remember. His name just passed.
Warren Buffett.
Even Jay-Z. A lot of those people, because, they used to wear Jay-Z used to wear all the gaudy stuff. And the richer he got, the more he toned down he wears quality suits and shirts and stuff like that. But even he made mention of it. You don't see Warren Buffett with bling bling on. You hardly see him with anything. I think he was still driving the same car, pickup truck.
Yeah.
Come on. They don't do that.
No.
You don't have to wear it. You don't have to show what you got.
Plus, the gold that we buy is not investment grade gold anyway. So, Police Goddess Micah, you see, we're kidding ourselves. We are kidding ourselves. And all my Coach bags just sitting in my closet, looking back at each time I grab my Amazon cross bag.
There you go.
See?
Yeah. Yep. Christmas Day.
I'm telling you. Okay. Put a Q in front of your question. Otherwise, we're going to go into the next thing. Hi there. Yes, we have a beautiful voice. Hi, Rennie. Thank you. Can you provide Reni's information again? Or Rossini, probably.
Oh, Rossini.
That email link doesn't work. Do you mean Rossini? If you're talking to us, and if so, his information should be in the description. So for those of you who don't know, we're affiliate marketer for Rossini, who helped us find an apartment in Lisbon, if that's what you're talking about. So Greta, I will be taking my blue Coach bag, my vintage Coach bag from the 90s to Lisbon. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm wearing my, I used to save it for good. Now I'm going to be wearing it all the time. Watch. Spending money we don't have to impress people we don't like. That right there. Yeah. That right there. Right? Why did we really want those Teslas?
Yeah. Even people you do like.
Yeah, impress those people too. But they don't care.
No, nobody really cares.
They don't care. They're too busy thinking about themselves. They don't care.
Or they'll make mention in passing.
Yeah. Oh, nice car.
For a second. Right. Ooh, nice car.
Yep. Is it too late for me to
they'll tell you,
scratch?
Before you go further, they'll tell you, oh, that's such a nice car. And then they'll talk about, how they going to pay for that?
They're talking about you behind your back.
Like a dog.
They in debt. They know they can't afford that car.
Can't afford that car. And family does that too.
They do. But in LA, it was nothing to see a brand new Mercedes pulling up to a raggedy apartment. All day long, y'all. All day long. Okay, so Winnie B asked, is it too late for me to start from scratch at 59 years old? No credit cards, but a lot of regularly monthly expenses. It is never too late. It is never too late. So 6 years ago, we had that meeting with the insurance / financial advisor. And I told Rick then 6 years ago, well, 6.5 years ago now, you might as well start doing your 401k. And what did you say?
I ain't never going to be able to retire. And it's too late.
That's what he said. It's too late and I'm never going to be able to retire. He was so depressed. He started investing in his 401k. I said, at least do up to the company match.
Yeah, 6%, I think was
6%.
Yeah.
So we did 6% to start. That thing grew. Okay. It grew to the point where by the time we got up to 2021, when we said, okay, we now have a positive net worth, this was just in 6 years, y'all. It went up to what, 40, 50,000?
It was up to 47,000.
47,000. 47,000. From nothing to 47,000.
Yeah.
And if you don't touch it, it keeps growing, right?
It's never too late. It's not too late.
It is not too late. The other thing that we did, and some people looked at me sideways when I said this, because this is not how most people think. So my cousin asked, so you're moving to Lisbon so that you can afford to retire? Yeah. Yes. We're acting our wage. So does that mean that we cannot afford to retire? No. That means there are certain places that we did not save for. Retiring in Manhattan? No.
Mm-mm.
Nor do I want to. Nor do I want to. Retiring in Switzerland, where the visa you have to have $100,000 a year? No. No. But one of the things that we as Americans don't do is take the amount of money that we have and say, okay, where can I live the kind of life that I want to live off of this amount of money?
Right.
And that's what we decided to do.
Right.
And so that amount of money means that everything that we have in our saving and our investment accounts, we do not have to touch. We do not intend to have to touch that. But we are continuing to add to it because I never turned off the spigot with those investments account, taking out of our savings account after tax money, even though we're no longer working. So we are continuing to invest basically at the same level, not quite, because we were saving 60% of our income. Well, I don't have an income right now. So 60% of that is still zero.
So again, it's important to know your why.
Know your why.
Why you're even doing that. Winnie, it's not too late, but know your why.
Yeah.
It makes it a whole lot easier to put things in perspective and move forward.
Yep. So no credit card debt is huge.
And if there's any way to cut your expenses, look at I don't know what your expenses are or anything like that, but look at your expenses and see where you can either reduce them by paying more, finding substitutes, finding other ways. I know people, us, we own 2 properties. We own a house in Denver and we own a condo in LA. So yeah, we could just say, well, we could live in Denver and then fly to LA and live there and do this and that, but we're renting both of them out. So let somebody else pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. There was something else that I was going to say about income, because that's the biggest thing. So get our Ready to Retire toolkit. In there is a little worksheet on your expenses and what you can eliminate, and then what you can find substitutes. So another thing that we substituted, we were paying a lot of money for Verizon for our cell phone. We went to Google Fi. We save about $150 a month. We cut cable. So we reduced our expenses. We were watching 3 channels
Yeah.
on cable.
200 channels, but you only watch 3.
And we're watching 3. Why are we doing this? Why are we paying $167 a month? Because I got to have this and that and the other. And again, you guys, for me, and I'm not talking about anybody else, in my mind, I know I was saying, I'm this age, at this age, these are the amenities that I am expected to have in my house and will be judged accordingly that I have not made it if I don't have a minute. I can hear my aunt right now coming into my house saying, what do you mean you don't have cable? Even so-and-so got cable, as if
I can't watch Steve Harvey.
Right? Like as if
it's like, you better stream Steve Harvey.
As if right? As if us not having cable somehow meant that we were not truly adulting the proper way.
People think funny things. They really have their idea of how you should live.
And how you should be spending your money. And, and so like there was somebody else who said, why are you guys considering Portugal? So, especially because we talk about racism, right? And we're going to a European country. Well, we want to travel. And Portugal is close to a lot of the places that we want to travel. So it checks off a lot of boxes. The healthcare situation, it's close to a lot of other places that we want to visit, both on the continent of Africa and the continent of Europe. Asia's closer as well, right? So it checks off a lot of boxes. Our why is huge. It's much bigger than just saving.
Plus also the reason we got the permanent residency in Mexico, because we've met a lot of people that we consider friends that live in Mexico. And one of them's Picky Girl Travels. And I love what she just said. Give every dollar a job.
Where did she say that?
Right there.
Oh, give every dollar a job.
Give every dollar a job.
I like that.
Well said. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And I also like what Auntie Trey said.
Okay. Tell me where. Right here? Yep. Okay. What do you mean? It's never too late. It's only late if you never start, right? So the best time to start investing was 10 years ago. The next best time is today, right? You hear that. These idioms stay around for a reason, and it's never, ever, ever too late unless you're 6 feet under. One of the things I spend a lot of money on is perfumes, but I know how difficult it is to move with perfumes. So I have that in mind now. Large collections of perfumes and wines can't go with you. Yes, Nubianette. So I just figured out, I was watching Blacks at Global a couple of weeks ago, found out about Send My Bags. Don't have an affiliate link or anything like that, but just Send My Bags. So we're shipping a lot of our luggage. Picky Girl Travels, Adelia mentioned having the rolling bags. What are they called? Deployment bags.
Deployment bags.
So we got our deployment bags. They're filled up. We've got the list of what's in them, and perfume cannot be one of them.
No liquids.
So I just gifted my daughter with one of my favorite perfumes. Yeah. The rest are staying here. I'm going to take one with me every time I go, I guess. I don't know. I have realized that time has slipped away and I have not saved nearly enough in my retirement plan. I'm 58 years old and now aggressively saving more in my 401k. Thanks, you guys. I'm inspired. Great, Tammy. It is never too late. And 58, look, my mom and dad never did it. They made so much money in their lifetime. And now they're at the point where Rick and I are having to, not my dad so much, but my mom, we're having to take care of my dad because he's not capable of taking care of himself. We're having to financially help my mom because she did not plan. Well. She didn't. She made gangs of money in her lifetime. And, I don't know what she thought. Like, I don't know.
So Tammy, a word for Tammy. Yeah. Max out that 401k. And also the stock market is on sale right now. It still is. It looks scary because, we're going up. It's volatile. It's very volatile, but it's going to come back, and it's going to come back stronger and stronger. So, look into some index funds and different things like that. Not anything risky, but, total market index funds to where you don't have to really put that much of a risk in anything and buy into that. It's on sale.
It is definitely on sale, but we got to say we are not financial advisors.
No, we're not.
Do your own do your own homework, and there still is a chance that you could lose money.
Yeah,
because it's
there's
not
always a
guaranteed.
chance.
But if you look historically, the stock market always does come back, right?
Thank you.
It always does come back, and we are still investing in it. And we have total stock market funds that we invest in. We have some individual stocks too that I like to play around with. You guys know I'm part of Better Investing, which is like club investing. But yeah, you know, the maximum amount for your 401k is $22,000. If you can do that, do that. You're at the age now that you don't really have to worry about which money is going into which account, and making sure that you have enough money in your after-tax account because you're 58, 59 and a half. You can start accessing stuff without the penalties. So, so you don't really have to worry about that. But yeah, max out as much as you can. And then start looking at what you want your life to look like and how much that is going to cost. You might be surprised. Yeah. We just sold Ric's car. It was kind of hard. It made it real, right? It made it real.
Well, not my car. So I said, as soon as you give me the check, hey,
it's your car.
It's your car. I didn't even drive it the last couple of days.
We got the check. They have the car. We're one step closer to Lisbon. In Lisbon, we do not plan to have a car. So cars are expensive. Between maintenance, if you have a payment and did not pay cash, plus the car insurance, our car insurance every year would creep up. Oh, it's because of the hail damage and the hailstorms and the this and that. They had 1,000 excuses about why stuff was creeping up. But nah. I need to stop keeping up with my sweet tooth and my eyes that are bigger than my stomach. I know about sweet tooth. Oh my gosh, I always have something sweet. Go ahead, because you're going to tell my business.
No, I'm not.
But what? But did you see something?
No, I saw I Am Karen Louise.
Which one?
Because you had brought her up, and then I stopped you to go to stick with.
Okay. I'm sorry, folks. We want to make sure we don't get missing. It's never too late.
Winnie? Or she was talking to Winnie?
Yeah, it's never too late.
Okay.
Yeah. Consistent steps. Yep. Consistency is key. Consistency is key. And having your why, because those days when you might forget, it's easier when you've got a partner, whether it's an accountability partner or what have you, because they can talk you off the edge.
Yeah.
They can talk you off the edge. Auntie Trey, it's a mood enhancer for me. The only time I'm not. Oh, yeah, I guess it is. She's talking about perfumes and stuff like that.
Right.
Choose FI. So that's what we're talking about. And then Karen Louise, just reading Cashing Out by Julie and Kirsten Saunders. They are inspirational and a terrific couple like you two are. Thank you. I advise you check out their new book. It is great. It is great. And it is written for African Americans, or with African Americans in mind, I should say. Because we have certain isms, right? There's certain things that the way we look at the world, maybe is it too late for me to start from scratch? Oh, wait, 59 years. Are you 58 or are you 59, Winnie? I pay my credit card balance off every month. Great. It took me, it took us, like, but once we started doing it that way, I would never, ever, ever going back. I'm going to give you a rule that has worked for me: saving and blessing, serving and blessing others. Each time I bless someone, I get blessed beyond what I could have imagined. Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Pay it forward. Yeah. Definitely concentrating on helping others. Okay. So put a Q in front of your question, and then we're going to go on to our next one. All right. So I'm going to, for those of you who are just joining us, hey, hi from the future. Please like and subscribe if you like this content. Okay. How we saved our FU money. Not in any particular order. Number one, every dollar should have a purpose. Wait, how did Adelia say?
Give every dollar a job.
Give every dollar a job. I like that. Give every dollar a job, right? Every dollar should have a job, even if that job is fun. But if you've allocated it, you're not just living, just kind of slipping through life and ending up wherever you happen to end up. I swear that's how I was living. We stopped trying to keep up with the Joneses. That's number two. And that's a conscious decision of really thinking about how we viewed ourselves and how we viewed ourselves in the world and how we viewed our value, both to each other and who we are, our value to the world. Like, F these people. F these people. We stopped avoiding looking at our spending regularly. I told you, a lot of marriages, most marriages break up because of money. So I wasn't going to let that happen. So just avoid talking about it and figure it out at the end. That's not a good way to do it. Number 4, we've always had a side hustle. We've always had another stream or multiple streams of income coming in, and we've used that money to help stay out of some debt, because we had debt, but we could add a lot worse debt. Oh, let me tell you, because we like to spend. The next thing that we did is we paid off all of our high interest debt. So one of the stimulus checks that paid off the last of our credit card debt. That first stimulus check that we got from homeboy that we don't want to mention, we used that to pay off our last bit of debt. And the next stimulus check, we invested it. No big screen TVs.
I wanted
no
one.
New Coach bag. You were talking about look at that look on his face.
I wanted one. I was supposed to get that 80-inch, remember?
For his man cave.
Give me an 80-inch from my man cave. I was doing extra husband duties and stuff like that. And she said, okay. But then, nah, I don't really need a 80-inch. I got a 65-inch downstairs in my man cave that I can't take with me. And it was free because I got it from work and I had to get rid of inventory. The job that I was doing. I had to get rid of inventory.
Yeah.
And I had 10 65-inch fairly new, not new, but
no, because some things were heavy.
They were hardly used. It was a heavier models, but that thing works like a charm.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So I didn't need an 80-inch.
He did not need an 80-inch. What was that really about? Right? So for me, went through life buying to make myself feel better, to make myself feel like I've arrived, like I've kept up with the Joneses. And if I had to charge it, as long as the payment fits, we gets. So we paid off all of our debt. You want to know how we went from negative 22,000 to over 800,000 in net worth? The biggest thing was paying off all of our debt, because we were never one of those families who was a $400 away from catastrophe. We did have a savings. We thought we could save our way to retirement. So we did have a savings. Every time we got a bonus, we'd allocate maybe 10% of it and splurge, and the rest of it would go into our savings account, not investments, our savings account. So we had some habits that were good. The bad habits were thinking that the rest of our lifestyle should be floated on credit cards.
Right.
So we took that big chunk of savings that we had and we put that in the stock market as well. That also helped us. I mean, it basically tripled that money.
Yeah.
It tripled that money. Yeah. So between that and saving 60% of our income, we saved almost, just over six figures in 1 year.
Yeah.
Pay off our interest debt. And then I just said the last thing, we took a large chunk of our cash and invested it in our tax profits. So those were the 6 steps that we took.
Yeah.
To save the money and basically retire and get on this like barista-fi, coast-fi life.
And then just a couple other tidbits is look at your subscriptions to things, because we had to look at our subscriptions to different things we had through Apple and everything else, because you might have some subscriptions out there that are very low, are very low payment type things that you really don't use anymore, but they don't really ring any bells or raise any flags because it's so
$20
low.
Here,
yeah,
$30 there,
$10 here, $10 there. I mean,
I'm telling
and
you.
I love Starbucks, but you can cut down on Starbucks or make Starbucks at home.
Of course, in Lisbon, a cafe au lait or cappuccino is only €1.30.
It's not expensive.
€1.30.
Starbucks anymore costs you like anywhere from $5 to $7.
It's ridiculous.
I haven't been to Starbucks. The last Starbucks I went to was in Lisbon.
No, it was in Mexico. We went in Mexico. We went in Puerto Vallarta, no, or Cancun.
No, you got something. I didn't get anything.
Beans, coffee beans.
I did. I'm lying. I just lied to myself.
We bought some coffee beans because him and his coffee. I tell you. So put a Q in front of your question, and let's see where we're at. Do you guys plan to rent out your home via Airbnb? So no. We cannot legally rent out our home on Airbnb. So if that is in your plan, I would check with your charter, with your city charter and or your HOA. We don't have an HOA, but our city charter does not allow us to rent out our home on Airbnb for any short-term rentals.
And it's the same with the condo in LA.
Same with the condo in LA. We cannot do either one of them on Airbnb.
But there's ways around that too. There's to rent it out to make money, not in Airbnb, but you got nurses that travel.
Yeah.
You got different organizations that you can rent your home out to for, 6 months or something like that.
Yeah, 6 months at a time or something like that. That will still give you above what you would get if you did a 1-year lease or something like that. So yeah, now here's the thing. We are renting out our home in Denver mostly to families. So our daughter and our son and their roommate will live in our house, which means we will not get what we could have gotten had we put it on the market to rent it out. It also means, so that's the bad thing. The good thing means that we can use the shed as our storage unit. And we don't have to empty out the house of every single item that we own. And that just makes life a lot less stressful. So we already know we're probably going to have to come back in 6 months to deal with my parents, etc. And so we can come here and get rid of some more stuff, or decide that the other stuff that we thought we wanted to bring is no longer that important and we're just going to donate it or whatever. So that is what we're doing with our home, and it makes life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Because we are less than 2 weeks away, you guys. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. It's nice you were on the same page with your goals, many married or not.
Yeah.
We weren't always.
No, we weren't.
We were not always.
But we always did have this strong thing of, when it came to spending money, for at a certain amount, we wouldn't do without the consent of the other, without talking about it.
Yeah, we did say that. We were not going to spend over $100 without talking to each other.
Anything over $100, we have to have a discussion about.
Yeah.
Just to let the other know. So if anything, if I needed to be talked off of a ledge, or vice versa, do you really need that? Do you really want that? You get what you want.
Yeah. I've always been more frugal and tight with my money. I've never felt like I had a safety net. So I never, ever, ever, I've never been broke, ever. I have been broke on paper, but I always had me some cash, because I've never been that $400 away from a catastrophe, even when $400 was a lot of money, because I'm tight with my money and I'm not going to spend it. I will get in debt, but save the cash. I don't know if that's a good thing. So we were not always on the same page financially. We grew up very differently. Mm-hmm. And so the way we looked at money was a little different. Neither one of them was very great. Both viewpoints were pretty screwed up.
Yeah.
It was just screwed up in a different way. So we learned together, and that helped. We both came from different screwed upness and and kind of learned together.
We got to change this paradigm.
Exactly. So, okay. Another question. I know this is off topic, but I heard Mexico is under martial law now. Is that true? How is it for expats there now? So I'm not sure. I haven't heard that. And if Adelia is still in the chat, she lives in Mexico City and can speak to that. If you were talking about the fact that Quintana Roo, that state, has more, I guess, police presence. Yeah. But martial law, I hadn't heard that.
I haven't heard that.
Okay. Hey, Nika. Hey, Tracy from the Clubhouse for Women. I am concerned about healthcare costs abroad with pre-existing conditions. Beyond the Bling will make this very real for you all. Thank you, Tracy. Tracy. Yes, yes, yes. So Beyond the Bling is our money mindset makeover workshop that we do. It's 6 weeks long right now. We're kind of revamping it and rethinking if it's going to be 6 weeks or if it's going to be an ongoing thing. So we'll figure that out once we get to
Portugal and
get to Portugal. But healthcare costs are, that's going to be a major expense. And that was something that we had to think about when planning this retirement and planning to retire early and only on one Social Security check, right? So how do we afford this without me bringing in income? And so Portugal ticked that box because even their private healthcare insurance is affordable. Mexico checks that box as well. Their private healthcare is affordable as well, but they don't have true universal healthcare. Portugal is closer to what we think of is universal healthcare. So, but yeah, both would have checked that box for us. Okay, if there are not any other questions, let's see. I will say, I have to read this. BJ, I will say the pandemic really worked out for me. I took another WFH job.
More money and took advantage of 2020.
I don't know what WFH is. Job for more money and took advantage. Work from home. Okay. Because every time I see F, I want to think of the bad word F. Like what the F ever. But with more money and took advantage of the 2020 stock market and really upped my investments. Yeah. Thank you, Tesla and Apple
Tesla
stock.
and Apple really shot up. Yeah,
right?
They shot up then.
Apple has been doing better than our index funds because I'm the main Apple investor. You have some.
I have some Apple, but you hold more of the money, so.
You heard that. Yeah, I'm in the process of rebuilding my makeup kit so I can get some wedding season coins. Cool. Definitely. Awesome. Yes. Months off, that's really is significant tip shift. I'm not sure what that's. Do you know what she's talking about?
Taking months off. Like,
for sabbatical.
Sabbaticals.
Oh, yeah. Oops, stealth wealth. That's the key. That is the key. All right, let's put a Q in front of your question. If not, we're going to wrap this up because we did it. We did the damn thing. All right. Action VJ, seeing more pushback on expats in Portugal. Do you see government limits coming in the next couple of years? Action, I think it's more hype. I really do think it's more hype from media than actual pushback. However, and some of the pushback is coming from other EU countries, right? Mm-hmm. Because Portugal was getting so many of the folks wanting to move to Europe that they're like, oh, you guys are stealing all the joy. So that was some of it. Obviously there was pushback with the golden visa because it made housing in the city center of Lisbon, Porto, and the Algarve unaffordable. Yeah. So there's that. But I think it's more hype than anything. I really, really do. But do we see more government limits coming over the next couple of years? Yes. And the only reason I say that is because we've been looking at Portugal for 2 years, mm-hmm. right? At the beginning of the pandemic is when we found Portugal and our rich journey. And so that's when we found fire, y'all, at the beginning of the pandemic. We had already had some savings, had already started some minor investing, but I'm just saying that to say, depending upon where you are in your journey, you can fast track it. Right?
Oh, yeah.
But I have to say, just between when we first started looking at Portugal and now, how much of the stuff has changed, how much of the requirements have changed. Yeah. The money hasn't changed that much because they did raise their minimum wage, but it was so low that I hate to say that, but what they changed it to was still very reasonable. But just the requirements of having to have a 1-year lease, having to have your bank account in advance, having to have your NIF in
Yeah.
advance, all of this is new. Having to have private health insurance for a certain amount of time in advance, all of that was new. The only requirement was your background check and the money. And then once you got there, you had to have that stuff in place before your CEF appointment, before your immigration appointment, but not before
Not
applying for
before,
the
right.
visa itself. So, so yes, I do think that they are going to start adding on more requirements, which was another reason why we sped up our timeline. Yeah. Looking in the comments here. Did you want to add anything to that? We
No,
need
you
a
said it.
fire group for scared people.
We're here for y'all.
You might be on to something. You know, I'm wondering, okay, you guys, do we want to do a Facebook group or do we want to do a WhatsApp group or both? You know, I think you're onto something because a lot of people have been talking to us saying no one of a certain age is talking about this stuff. Like, what do you do if you started late? What do you do? And we're here to say that it is not too late.
No, not at all.
So this is, I believe this is one of our Portuguese friends. So we're talking about money. We are talking about FIRE, which is fine. It stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. Whether you want to move to Portugal or whether you want to move someplace else, or you just want to retire, you have to have your money straight. And so we took 6 steps and changed 6 things that we did to save 2 years living expenses to go from negative 22,000 to over 800,000 in net worth. And if we can do it way past the age of 50, y'all can do it too. Okay, so it is Rossini. Yes, his name is down. His information is down in the description. And if you guys have problems getting in touch, because it should be linked to his Calendly, and you should just be able to schedule some time with him on his calendar. If you're having issues, just send us an email. Our email address is hello@ourblackutopia.com. Hello@ourblackutopia.com. Oh, wait. I wanted to show that again. Okay, Exodus Life. When we started focusing on our money, we went from 0 net worth to close to 500,000 in 4 years.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. It is amazing what you can do once you focus. Okay, wait. Our Exodus Life. How did you do that? What did you do? 401k, index ETF funds, please share. Shirley T. I'm going to look to see what they have to say, but I'm going to let you guys know there is no magic bullet. No. There is no magic bullet. There are 3 main things. You have to look at your expenses. You have to lower your expenses as low as you can get them and still be happy. Because if you're not happy, you're not going to stick with it. You have to increase your income because you need to increase the gap between how much is coming in and how much is going out on the necessities in your lifestyle, right? You have to increase that delta. You take that delta and you invest it, whether you invest it in the stock market or whether you invest it in real estate property. That's what you need to do. All right. Or you invest it in a savings account. So you're saving up for your down payment on your investment property, right? Which is going to give you that income. There just is that's it. That's it. That is the magic. There is no other magic. The idea that I was not supposed to spend every single penny that came into my hand except for the 10% that I'm saving on the side. To me, if I saved my 10%, in my mind, what I heard was, if I save my 10%, I can live large in retirement. But I'd have to wait until I was 65 or 67 years old. That ain't true, y'all. That is not true. 10% is not enough. 10% is not enough. My mom is paying $167 right now for her cable, and she cannot afford it.
Mm-mm.
She can't afford it. So, Anita, will we see you in Lisbon? Will we see you in Lisbon? All right, guys. It looks like we are wrapping it up. You guys are talking to each other. Did you see Exodus Life? Did he answer or she answer? Oh, here we go. Watch a lot of Our Rich Journey, canceled unnecessary bills, paid off debt, invested in a piece of property, sold thing costing us money.
There you go.
There is no magic to it, guys.
No.
There's no magic. I mean, with the stock market, time is your friend. Time in the stock market is your friend, definitely. But you can get the same results faster depending with rental income, because it's income that's coming in right now, which can get you to the income that you need monthly to survive without your job, right? So the friend of ours that we were talking about, who was saying like, is this it? He's getting $1,000 a month from his rental income. And then he gets $2,500, the max basically that you can get from Social Security. So that's $3,500 a month that he's getting without touching his investments. Speaking of Our Rich Journey, their first year there, they were paying buku money in rent, because if I remember correctly, they were paying about $2,300 to $2,400 a month in rent and still living off of $40,000 a year in Lisbon City Center in Saldanha with 2 kids in private school. Mm-hmm. So, can our friend live by himself in Portugal for $36,000 a year? The answer, that means not touching his investments. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. And because he still has his townhome bringing in that extra $1,000 a month, it's easier to get $1,000 a month in rental income than it is to get $1,000 a month in dividends. It takes a lot more upfront money to get $1,000 in dividends, and a lot more money invested to get $1,000 in dividends than it does to get $1,000 in rental income. So think about that. I know that interest rates are up and the market is out of control. Be patient. There are those hidden gems. As 2 of our mentors at Our Rich Journey will say, there are still those hidden gems. Okay, tell me if you see something. Wines can be an investment.
Oh yeah, and what he said. Newbie is our friend from Portugal.
Newbie is worthless to be thinking about wine and perfumes. You can buy here less expensive than in the U.S.
Yeah, you can. You can seriously buy some wine.
Yes. Oh my gosh, the beautiful wine. I don't know. I don't drink wine.
I do.
But Rick and our friend Twana, hey Twana, if you're watching the replay, we're buying, nice bottles of wine. They can start at 4, 5, and 6 euro, guys.
Yeah.
And
good wine.
Right now there's parity, dollar to euro. So that's $5 or $6 basically. Come on. I also opened a Roth IRA. I'm funding it and buying. Great. Yes. So I just found out something. Rollover IRA. So my stepmother, who's been coaching me, she said, you're putting after-tax dollars into what kind of IRA? I said, it's a rollover IRA. She's like, but is it Roth or traditional? I said, I don't know. It's a rollover IRA. I don't know. I know that they told me I could put after-tax money into it, even though it was rolling over 401ks. This is what I learned after talking to the guy at Charles Schwab. What he said was that, yes, you can put after-tax money into a rollover IRA. You should be deducting that from your taxable income on your tax return. I don't know if we've been doing that because I don't know if I told my tax person about the rollover IRA or that. I don't know, but I'm going to go back and we can always amend. And if the government owes me more money, then they owe me more money. That'd be nice.
That'd be real nice.
Right? So that's something that I found out today. So I say that to say the person who was talking about getting in accountability groups and stuff like that, we're always learning more about this stuff. So the clubhouse one, when did we just did index funds? So I said, yes.
Congratulations.
Yes. So happy for you. I was just talking to somebody else. I was like, look, just open it up. Even if you can only, he's like talking about the monkeys on his back, right? The monkeys on his back. This is one of my godchildren. And I said, I want you to go home and open up Charles Schwab or Fidelity today. And I wanted those two because, he wants to travel and, doesn't take the fees and all of that. So I said, open one. And if you can only put in $5, put in $5 and buy their index fund, their total market, their S&P 500, whatever. Just put in $5 and just increase 1% every pay period, every week, every month. If you do it every month, then at the end of the year, you will be saving 12% of your income.
Yeah.
And it won't be painful. Start with $5. Do what you need to do. So yay, nice to know 2 of our former clients are doing what they said they were going to do. Let us know about if you want to start this accountability group for fire people over 50.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be, I love that. That would be a fun thing.
Our rich journey, and you guys inspired me. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you. What was eye-opening for me? Okay, what was eye-opening for me, Greta writes, if you don't have to make 6 figures to retire or invest.
No.
I was waiting for the magic fairy. So growing up in a middle-class household, I have to say, and listening to Kirsten, and Cashing Out, the book Cashing Out, it was so familiar to me. I can always get another job. I can always get a better job. I can always make more money. So I'm going to have fun because I earn this. I need to have this happy hour because I earn this. I work so hard and all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of this stuff. And then somehow I was going to get this big payday from something. And all of that money was going to make up for the money that I didn't save all along. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
That people who play the lotto, they're doing the same thing. I watch Market Monday where Ian Dunlap says 2 tech and 2 index funds. 2 tech index funds and then 2 regular index funds. Tell me more, Anita. Tell me more.
So sounds like that he's covering the whole gamut of funds because it's always different with the tech index.
Yeah.
Because when that sector goes up and the other one's down, you're still holding. But
yeah, there's a way to balance it.
Yeah, that's good if you're into tech. Or if you want to invest in tech.
I'm into doing the least amount possible. Y'all know that I'm of the Stephanie Perry school, so I'm trying to do it easy. If you're age 50 and older, your total 401k contributions for 22. Oh, is it 27,000? Thank you, Philip. So 22,000 if you're under 50, 27,000. So just like IRAs, it goes up after 50 as well. Okay, thank you. See, we are not financial advisors, y'all. All we can say is what we did to save this money and to retire. Thank you guys for your encouragement. We are 2 years away from our FI. Yes, our rich journey gave us hope at the height of COVID that it wasn't too late for us. I'm 58, hubby is 64. It is not too late. It is not too late.
Hey, y'all, just do the damn thing.
Yes.
Just do it.
They inspired us.
Good.
53 and working my plan to retire by 60. Yes. Now, NP, if he or she is taking 7 years, they're probably going to retire with millions and millions in the bank. That's not us. That is not us. Okay, so they're talking about some side hustles there. If you're coming to Portugal, remember in Europe, the TV system is not the same as it is in the US. You will spend money for nothing. Yeah, I mean, the places that we stayed in had some. I know it's not as expensive. You can get bundles for like $40 that include your cell and everything else, and there's movies in English with
Yeah, they
subtitles.
have subtitles.
So Auntie Trey asks, have a bonus coming at the end of the month. I want to invest it all since my bills are paid. Hey,
Do it.
any tips on what to invest in? Girl, I'm going to say in an index fund, in a total market index fund. I'm not going to get more specific than that because we're not financial advisors.
We're
Not financial advisors. You need to do your homework. But what we will say is, whatever it is, it should not be a mutual fund that costs a lot of money. All right. You want to spend the least amount of money on the fees as possible. I'm sure you already know that. We have our stuff invested in an S&P 500 and a total market index fund. And then I think even small index for smaller companies. So, and Apple's doing better than all of those. Yeah. But Apple is doing better because I bought it so long ago. If I bought it today, I don't know if it would be doing better. So take that with a grain of salt. But I always say you want to pay attention to not paying those fees.
Yeah.
And an index fund will spread your risk out among different companies. And as long as the market is going up, it's going to go up.
Educate yourself. Definitely educate yourself on the index funds and the type that you're getting into. Just like somebody just said earlier, the tech.
Yeah.
And other just regular index funds. You just want to make sure that it's something you like. Warren Buffett always say, invest in things that you are familiar with.
Yeah.
He never invests in anything that he's not familiar with. He invested in Coca-Cola because he knew Coca-Cola. It's a product. I don't know if he uses it still or if he used it, but usually when you invest in different things, it's product that you've used, that you trust.
Seriously, I invested in Ulta because I shopped there, and so I started looking at their financials. They looked good. Mm-hmm. I used the principles taught to me from Better Investing, looked at their financials, and then when I read that they were going to be opening up in Targets, I invested, and they're doing well. But
you have to do your own due diligence.
Yeah, do your homework. Do your homework. The majority, 90% of our investments are still in total market index funds. 10% is what we do the individual investing with.
You don't have to sit there and watch them.
Number one, because I don't feel like working that hard. I just don't. I don't feel like working that hard with all of that stuff. Oh, here's another question I almost missed. Sorry, Anita. I have to check on my town, and my town allows Airbnb, so I'm good.
Okay.
Great. And I don't know if you have an HOA, but yeah. And Anita, if you're doing Exodus Summit, there's someone who's speaking at Exodus Summit who made $50,000 the first year and over $100,000 the second year, Airbnb her own home only while she was on vacation with her kids. So yeah. I wish we could, but please list the organizations that I can rent my condo out to, since I cannot rent to on Airbnb. We'll probably do a video on that because we have not started looking into that yet. But I'm writing it down. These rental companies, because we want to do a video on that as far as side hustles go. So we'll write that down and do some research and put that in a future video. If somebody else knows some of the organizations, y'all can put it in the chat. Are you still investing in the stock market as retirees? We answered this question, but I'm answering it again for those folks who came in late. So yeah. I have not turned off our automatic withdrawal from our savings account that comes out from Fidelity and from Charles Schwab. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's still on auto, and we are still investing. The market's on sale. I just bought a bunch more of Fidelity Zero, the zero cost one, the one that has zero fees. Just bought some more of that. So I don't think that the zombie apocalypse is going to come. If it does, we have bigger problems,
bigger problems
than the money that we have invested in the stock market. 2 weeks, huh? The visa is less than 2 weeks away. We don't know.
We hope.
We don't know, Philip.
We kind of
Our
hope.
plane ticket is booked.
Our apartment is waiting for us.
And is paid for. Yes. So we are, at this point, Monday will have been 5 weeks or 6 weeks?
6 weeks.
6 weeks from when we had our appointment. We haven't heard from them yet, but we are going to go back to our apartment that we are paying for on our tourist visa. And I'm sure we're going to hear any day now. Because like if we hear tomorrow, it's too late to do all these FedExing back and forth. It's too late. So we'll have to do it after we get there. Okay. So Adelia says that she's traveling. Girl, Adelia's living her best life. She left, but there was no martial law as of Thursday. So I'm not sure what you were talking about, Philip, if that was you who asked. I can't remember.
I don't think that was Philip that asked.
Was that Action VJ that asked? I can't remember exactly who asked.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything, and I've been watching videos and different things from people in Mexico that we follow and talk to. So I haven't heard anything.
If I don't ever have to go back to Cancun again, I don't ever have to. Just don't close before I get there, Portugal, in 2 years. Right? I don't think, okay. So most countries don't close, right? They just make it harder for you to get a visa. Like Switzerland, I think it's Switzerland, talking about $100,000 a year. I don't think that they can, in good conscience, do something like that when their minimum wage is what it is. Okay, we're talking about Cancun. Here's another question from Kenya. How long after getting approved for Mexico residency did you have to wait in the country of Mexico to get your green card?
Well, we flew in from Cancun to Puerto Vallarta. That talked to our person who we was working with
on Friday.
She told us that we had an appointment
for
Monday, and we would have a representative there with us. We got our green cards that Monday.
Yeah.
So we sat in the office for what? Say an 2 hour process 2 hours, at the most. Yeah. 2 hour process at the most. We didn't have to say anything. All we had to do was get up, and when they called us, and our representative called us to get up, sign the paper here. Okay, sit back down. We sat back down, and she called us for such and such. Is this right? Making sure everything was right. We did that. And next thing she called us up, take your pictures. And that was it. And we could leave immediately. We could leave the country. We stayed, because we were in a PV for a month. But we stayed. We could have left right then and there. So there's no in-country that you have to stay, like in Portugal.
So can you check on the immigration office? Because what Teresa told us is that some offices don't have the machinery, or they run out of the plastic to make the green cards. Mm. And so then you have to wait. They mail it or tell you to come back and pick it up. The office that we were in Puerto Vallarta had the machine there. Everything was working. So 45 minutes from the last signature to get it in that stupid looking picture to getting our green cards. Yeah. Mexico is easy as far as that is concerned. Okay. So we're going to do a Facebook group for over 50 fire folks, fire over 50 Facebook group and accountability. They want an accountability WhatsApp group too. All right, y'all. After we get to Portugal, okay? Because we still have a lot of stuff to pack. But we're going to do this. 2 weeks from now, we will, well, a week from now, yeah, a week and a half from now, we'll be in Portugal. So give us a chance to get settled. Then we'll start. We've got some Facebook groups already reserved. So we'll figure out which one. We'll save that for the over 50 and then the other one for general. And we'll start an accountability group with WhatsApp as well. So if you are not yet on WhatsApp, get on WhatsApp, download it, put it on your computer or whatever. I heard they're changing the digital nomad visa. Creativity Rain said. So I assume you were talking about the D7 visa for Portugal. And if they're changing it, what did you hear? What did you hear? Leticia. I hope that's how we pronounce your name. Leticia or Leticia. We're glad you're here. We're glad you're here.
Yes.
Welcome. Big yes for the over 50 group. Sage phone.
Do the work.
Yeah. I mean, I used to think that it had to be a lotto type of situation, right? There was just going to be this lotto type situation. Anita will have to hook up. So send us an email, hello@Our Black Utopia. But yeah, I really did think that. I did not think that normal people who have never made over $100,000 a year could do an early retirement thing and do it, and not live like, cutting coupons and doing all of that stuff. Cause I'm not about that life. I am not. I have a champagne taste on a beer budget, y'all. Are you still investing in stock market? Okay. We read that one.
Jackie's.
Did I miss Jackie?
Yeah. She's going to have a Q in front of her.
Okay. I'll go back to that one. So no, Shannon. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry.
Sanoa or
I want to say Sanoa, but that's not Sanoa. Learn something. Didn't know there is a monthly max for money.
For Social Security.
Oh, yeah, kind of. Yeah. I think it even says, if you look on the website, and it depends on how old you are or what generation you're from, on what the max is. So for my generation, if you retire, I want to say if you retire at 67, you can't get any more than $2,500. If I wait until 70, I can't get any more than $3,000. So yeah, there's a max. And that might change, right? Because they index it or whatever the hell
it depends they do. Yeah, it depends on who's in office and
exactly
what party's ruling.
But there is a max. Oh wait, let's go back to Jackie's. Did I miss something about Portugal closing to expats? Oh, no.
They didn't close anything, Jackie.
They didn't close to expats or anything like that. We just always hear, something, welcome to Portugal, now go home, Californians and things like that. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
So she is in one of our accountability groups as well. So glad that you are here. Was the money you rolled over pre-tax or after tax? Yeah, it was pre-tax money. It was from my 401k. So I was really concerned that I'd been given the wrong information. I just was not given all of the information. So yes, I could put after-tax money into that rollover IRA up to $7,000 because I'm over 50. But I'm supposed to then take that from my taxable income on my tax return. So I just have to talk to my person and make sure that happened. Do the U.S. banks provide an app for the clients to lay down a budget and at any moment check the balance by items you can enter? That's a good question.
There's apps that
do that.
You can budget.
But our credit union, which is it's a bank, but a little bit different from a bank. It's under different laws here in the United States, V. So they do provide that. And I could put in there, we could assign different things to different expenses. So we could pull up all of our restaurant purchases.
Credit unions were strong on that. Banks are starting to get that way.
Okay.
They are starting to move towards that way as a service to clients because they want to compete better.
Yeah. So, I know Ally does that.
Right.
But The major banks, I don't know, because I left the major banks when they screwed up our economy back in 2008. I left the major banks. So Jackie Johnson asked, my husband and I are going to refinance our home. Okay, rent it out and use the money from the refi to purchase a home in Portugal. Does this sound like a good idea? Is what I believe you were
That
writing.
almost sounds like Golden Visa,
So
depending on what you're purchasing.
maybe. Jackie, how many times have you been to Portugal? Do you absolutely love it? Do you know the area that you want to live in? Do you understand the market? Are you willing to be patient so that you can find the exact home that you want in Portugal? Why are you buying in Portugal? Is that the best use of your money at this particular time? And the answer to all of those might be yes, 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 and yes. So, but you asked it, do we think it's a good idea? It could be. It could be a good idea. It just depends. We need more information. We need more information. So I think I just want to add, when it comes to purchasing, I feel a little bit more comfortable about looking at places now that we have friends in Portugal who have been there for a while. You really do have to understand the market. If we're talking about purchasing here in the United States, no matter what city you live in, one thing that we're going to tell you is to go start attending the city council meetings and read the city charter, or at least the city charter as it pertains to you as a homeowner. Especially if you're going to buy investment properties. But even if you're going to buy that home with living in it, and then maybe you're going to keep it forever and eventually rent it out, you need to understand what you can and cannot do with that house and what the city is planning with the land, right? And so the land around you, what are they investing in your neighborhood? So the same is true in Portugal. I don't understand how the government works in Portugal. I know that they have some people who are over land use. Which level of government? I don't know. But whoever that is, you need to know who that is and then see what they're planning. Understand what their rules are. Are you talking about buying a single family home or an apartment? Do you understand apartments don't work the same way there as they work here, as far as co-ops back east or the HOA type of system that we have more out west? Mm-hmm. It works differently there. So if you understand all of that and you've done your homework, it could be a good idea.
And it would be good to get a Portuguese lawyer and a
Portuguese accountant, real estate agent and accountant
to help you. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Kiki asks, I'm going to come back to you. How do you account for monthly pensions, military retirement, disability, et cetera, in calculating your FIRE number? So there's two ways to calculate FIRE. You can calculate it as a whole, or you can calculate it as monthly expenses. Right. We did both. We have a whole FIRE number, and then we also calculated monthly expenses because we have rental income, right? So I would calculate it both ways and say, okay, we need, let's just say, $3,600 a month to live the type of life that we want. Our military retirement or our pension or something like that brings in, $2,000 a month. So we need another $1,000 a month. Either that can be your FIRE number. So $1,000 a month times 25, or $1,000 a month times 12. So $12,000 a year times 25. That could be your FIRE number. Or it can be the whole 36,000, understanding that at some point you don't have to wait until you totally FIRE to retire, as long as you're getting that pension, military retirement, or disability or whatever. And if you know that that's not going to go away. So that's how we did it. We took both numbers into consideration, because really what you're talking about is, am I going to be able to pay my bills every month? Am I going to be able to live every month? And do I have cash flow coming in every month? And what does that look like? So whether that's coming from your investments, or that's coming from rental income, or that's coming from a pension. Okay. Yes, please. Facebook and WhatsApp. Okay. We got you guys. We're gonna figure this out because I'm not gonna want to totally host this whole thing. So we're gonna have this is gonna be a group effort here to do this thing. I will. Thank you. I have 2 weeks to research. Okay, Auntie Trey. And we're willing to bounce stuff off and tell you what we do, but everybody's situation is so different, and we are still learning. Seriously, y'all. Seriously. So I'm
Your
going.
visa has gotten approved.
Oh,
Has your visa gotten approved?
so we just answered this, Holly. No, our visa
Nope.
has not gotten approved yet. It's going to be approved. It's going to be approved.
Faith.
Right? There's no reason for it not to be approved. We meet the requirements. We meet the requirements, so it will be approved. Stacy asked, regarding contributing after-tax money to your rollover IRA, are you limited to 7,000? That's what I was told. I was limited to 7,000 because I'm over 50. I think it's 6,000 if you're under 50. So yes, to my IRA. So why would I do that? Why would I limit myself and invest that $7,000? Well, why would you do an IRA period, right? I just want it to be with the rest of the money, so I don't have account here and account there and account there. And it's just easier just to have the one. And so yeah, $7,000 is what I was told I'm limited to. The great part about it is gaining money, and I don't have to pay taxes on that money every year like we do on our brokerage account, right? So that's good. I am writing it off my taxes now, so I'll have to pay taxes on it again later. So that's how that works. Just found that out, y'all. It's WhatsApp Messenger. Yes. So WhatsApp, yeah, Messenger. And then, you can do the video calls. They even have WhatsApp rooms now, like Zoom room type things now, and all of that stuff. So that's great. Careful, property is high.
In Lisbon, yeah.
That right there. Property is high in Lisboa. It's expensive in Europe nowadays. Other cities are okay up to now. So, and it's all relative, right? So if you're coming from the Bay Area where a little bitty 1-bedroom bungalow is, $1 million, then to pay $250,000 for a 2-bedroom apartment doesn't seem like a lot. But the question is, can the average Portuguese person purchase that from you if you wanted to sell it? Remember, the market doesn't work the same way there as it does here. Things sit on the market a lot longer in Portugal than it does here. Here, your house is almost like money in most markets, right? You put it on the market, you can have it sold in two weeks. And if somebody is pre-approved, have your money in a month, right? It's almost like cash, but it's not like that everywhere. So yeah, be careful, do your homework, etc. Rising rates. We are afraid. Okay. We are afraid of the rising rates in rent. Never been to Portugal. First visit in June. We are okay with renting. Just want to make sure we can afford rent during fire. Sign a 5-year lease. Sign a 3-year lease. Sign a 2-year lease. Right? There's ways to do it, but I understand, right? Once you buy your rent, right? Your housing costs are set at that point, right? Once you purchase. So I get that. I have a feeling rising interest rates are going to do some things to the real estate market that are going to lower prices. So, will that lower rent? I don't know. Jackie, rent does not have to be as crazy as you say. Like I was watching a video the other night and she was showing a video, an apartment in Estrela, Portugal, 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath for $2,000 to $2,500. It was 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath for $2,000 to $2,500 a month. It was furnished a little bit, like it had a couch and a table. We're not paying anywhere close to that, people. We're not paying anywhere close to that. So there's still deals to be had. You can negotiate. All right. Where are we at? Ooh, we've been on for 2 hours. We got to go, folks. We got to go. The maximum Social Security benefit depends on age. Yep. If you retire at 62 in 2022, your maximum benefit would be $23.64. If you retire at age 70 in 2020, your maximum benefit would be $4,194. That's a lot. I don't think at my current earning rate, Social Security people, they were saying, nah, you ain't gonna get no 4,000. You ain't never gonna get no 4,000 at this current rate. At your current rate, you never gonna get more than 3,000. So good to know. Thank you, Philip, for that. So we're going to end it. We did this thing. But I'm going to go over those 6 things one more time. Do you have it up? Let me pull it up. Okay, I've got it up right now. Please like, please subscribe. As you know, thank you again for the super chat. All of our super chat, our coffee money does go to our scholarship fund, Beyond the Bling, and our no spend challenge. So what did we do to save 2 years expensive, to save our FU money? 1, every dollar that we earned had a purpose. We rediscovered our why, right? Why are we doing this? Why are we on this journey? Why are we trying to do this thing? And really, we wanted to retire abroad. We always dreamed of living this life and doing what we're doing. And this is so much more than we thought possible. Y'all, I got to tell the story. We thought this was our dream. And this is why vision boards and all of this is so important, because
Nubia Net gave us.
Oh, great. Thank you, Nubia Net. I'll recognize that in 1 second. I got to tell this story. So I looked at our vision board, right? I pulled it out because we're packing all of our stuff. And I'm like, sweetheart, we are getting pretty close to our vision board. So what we envisioned for ourselves, we sat down and we talked, and our dream was to retire, travel around the United States, because we couldn't dream any bigger than that. Travel around the United States in a mobile home,
shooting documentaries,
and do video. And instead, we're going to be traveling around Europe and the world doing video all over the world.
Sharing it with you.
And sharing it with y'all. This is so much bigger than we dreamed of. So don't get so stuck on what you envisioned that you're not open to something even bigger and better than that.
Nubia Net, thank you so
much for that.
We appreciate.
Yes. This is a community effort. As a community, y'all, we're going to do this thing. We're going to say no to the hustle and grind and to working until you're 67, 70 years old. And, for folks of color, that's hard with all of the microaggressions and all that little stuff that happens. It's hard. It's really hard. And by the time you retire, your body's broken down. You got all this stress-induced stuff and everything like that. So we're not trying to do that. Mm-hmm. So what did we do? Every dollar had a purpose. We stopped trying to keep up with the Joneses. We stopped avoiding looking at our spending. And we made looking at our expenses and our spending a regular part of our discussion and what we do, right?
Had that side hustle going.
Right. We always had
a side hustle.
Always had that extra income coming in that we could use to pay off our high interest debt. And then we took the large chunks of savings, because you cannot save your way to this, folks. We took the large chunk of the saving that we were trying to save our way to and invested that. And woo, it shot up.
It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight.
No.
So be patient.
But it tripled.
Yeah, it tripled.
It tripled. And we were able, because we had done some things right, we were able to do that in 2 years, y'all.
Be good to yourself.
Yeah. Be good to yourself.
Pay yourself.
Pay yourself first. And we got one last question, and then we're going to let you go. The professor asks, will there be a live next Sunday, or will you need to wait until you get settled in Portugal? There will not be a live next Sunday. We do have a video coming out next Sunday. So it's Don't Move to Portugal If. We will be releasing next Sunday, and we might have a special live for you, a going away party right before we leave. Impromptu, spontaneous, maybe like on Tuesday before we get on the plane or something. We'll see. All right, y'all. Like, subscribe, share this information if you found it helpful. Share it with somebody. Hit that notification bell, and we love you guys. We love you so, so much. You inspire us every single week to stay on this journey, to share, to be transparent with you, And your questions make us realize more about ourselves. Seriously.
Yes.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all. See ya.
Have a good rest of your Sunday.
Yes.